couple of kind of points to add. In terms of Yuva I think we need to look at a plan for the next couple of years and not just this year, because, the way education is going to be imparted is going to change, not just for the next 8-10 months, but, there could be models, etc., to look at it over the next few years. Now, having said that, I think one of the concerns of e-education, and it's a very innovative way to teach children, whether you're an urban kid or a child in, studying in a rural village. It is exciting at the beginning to do e-learning, but you also have to understand the constraints of e-learning. One is lack of, internet connectivity in many parts of our country, and children or parents may not have access to a smart tablet or a smartphone. So how are those kids going to learn? And secondly, over a period of time, to keep children engaged, ultimately in education, you do need the human aspect, and you do need the teacher-child connect. So over what period of time is, e-learning going to prove to be exciting, and how are we going to actually look at measuring outcomes and learning for children who are going to learn from home, essentially either by themselves or with some kind of help coming from their parents, who, if they if the children are first generation learners, they're not going to be able to get that much help at home from parents itself. So I think these are some of the points we need to consider, at least in respect of all the 500 schools that you guys have touched over the last so many years. And we'll probably need to segregate the schools into buckets where you feel, e-learning is going to work. And if it doesn't, then what is plan B? So there has to be a plan B in terms of how are you going to reach children who don't have access to technology, who don't have smartphones, who don't have tabs at home. And that's going to be very important from the whole, not just the outcome, but even getting basic education across to these kids. Secondly, I think even when schools open, and I think every state is going to have its own calendar in terms of opening schools, but the emphasis on health and hygiene cannot be re-emphasized more at this point in time. And also over the next 6 months, at least, in terms of how kids, once they come back to school, there has to be a like SOPs actually set down, or some processes to ensure that there is hygiene maintained, to ensure there is a little bit of social distancing. How that will practically work in smaller classrooms in rural villages may also be a little bit of a constraint. So actually, these were my thoughts, and specifically to the model that Yuva has created.
Thank you, Ziaa.